Okay, hello everyone, this is Mark1k1 with a video on the Guild Wars 2 beta weekend just before it starts. It's Friday the 8th of June, so it's going to start in about 7 hours I believe, so this is all being recorded just about at 1 PM. So yeah, I just wanted to go over some of the updates they put in their June 5th blog post called the Big Beta Weekend Preview, which I'll give you a link to in the description. Basically it just goes over a few of the new things in the next beta, and a few other things. For instance, the first part is you get to keep your characters, any character you had on the previous betas, that is. They have a new, well, not a new one, but they've got the first dungeon open, which is the Ascalon Catacombs for for players level 35 plus. They have a new levelling area for the level 25s to 35s outside of Lion's Arch called Genderen's Fields. They have something called the Mysteries of the Mystic Forge. There we go, I can say it now. It's basically, it's kind of weird this, you throw in an item and it gives you something else random, kind of wacky, but oh well. It's like if you got, like, its example is, I'll read it. Got a pair of pistols that you don't need, drop them in the Mystic Forge and see what Zomoros gives you in exchange. Amazing. So that's kind of funky. See if I'll see if I can get some footage of that as well. Expanded World vs World. I can't talk today. Once again, okay, so basically, as far as I know, what they've added to this is a new mini dungeon kind of area, which is beneath the central map, as it says, and it's full of traps to use against enemy players. There's a place called the Dark Room in it, which they don't really go over, but they want you to go and see, so there must be something good in there. They've added challenges, dynamic events, and jump puzzles to the World vs World maps, which I can see some people not being too happy about, but it's extra stuff. Their reason for it is, and I quote, "We want to make the transition from PvE to World vs World easy and natural for players. We always wanted additional meaningful content in World vs World, so that players will always have something to do, even if the front line of battle is far away." Fair enough reasoning, I suppose. It doesn't bother me too much because I'm not that much into World vs World PvP, but I don't know, I might be later on. New automated player vs player tournaments, so you get, you can have teams of 8 against each other, and it just works as a normal tournament kind of, scheme. I'm sure you all understand that, and you get some good loot after it if you win. A sense of hitting the combat. The combat has been slightly tweaked. So yeah, the things they've improved is better timing, enhanced sound design, subtle camera shakes. And that's it really, just try and make the combat a bit more visceral, as they say. And of course the improved overflow for servers. So, okay, what they've done for this is obviously as they said, they've doubled their servers. And as well as that, just to help people who go into the overflow parts of servers, which you may have seen if you've seen my videos, I think. Basically, if it works in the channel system, I suppose. If one of the channels is overflown, then you get shoved into the other one, the overflow channel, which is where anyone else goes if the main one is overflown. But what they've done is, and I'll quote it here, "We've implemented a new party UI that tells you when party members are on a different overflow world," and that's good because I remember in the first beta I met up with this person and we decided to go questing together and do stuff, but then I got DC'd or he got DC'd, logged back in, we were in a different channel. I was in the overflow, he wasn't, I think. So, that was a problem. And they've also given party members the ability to fast travel to overflow worlds where other members of their party are located, and we've made it easier to keep party members together when moving between maps. So that's awesome, they really needed that. They've improved the chat a bit, so now you've got chat bubbles, similar to like World of Warcraft, for instance. And they've added a new chat function as well, another one. I'll get into that in a minute. New key binding feature, self-explanatory, but there we go. A lot of people will probably be wanting that. They've changed the UI up a bit. I'll put a picture up. Basically, it's the map has now been changed to a square, which is good. I didn't really like the circle map. And you can resize the square, you can zoom in, zoom out, do all the normal stuff with it, you know. But it kind of just works better, I think, because you get a better view. I hate with the circle where it cuts off the sides and whatever. But yeah, so that the minimap is now square and it's movable in size, adjustable. Sorry. Your endurance meters are now actually around the top of your health, as you can see. A good design, I think, actually. And that's it for the UI change as far as I can tell. The tiers for the skills have been changed up, so I think it's for the elite skills, basically. Oh, no, it's all skills, okay. So that's from 7 to 9 and 0, I suppose. All of those skills now have a tier system where you have to have bought every skill from, let's say, level 1 tier to be able to get anything from the level 2 tier. Now, I suppose that's not a problem in the long run, but I do find it a bit annoying myself because it takes away a lot of my freedom to just pick a skill that I want rather than having to shovel through a bunch of shit I don't want to use. So I'm not 100% on that one. I suppose there's a lot of people who'll be alright with it. Their reason for doing it is it encourages them to experiment with different skills as they increase in power, and it avoids overwhelming new players with a huge list of skills to choose from. Well, I suppose. Really, it's not that overwhelming. Maybe it was, I don't know. It could have been, I suppose, but even still, I find it a bit annoying, really, that they've taken that ability away to just pick what you want. You have to go through all of this stuff you don't want to use, you know. But anyway, yeah, you know, I'll get into that more with probably updated versions of a few of the things I did for my first few videos. The next is the gem store, which is slightly different in appearance, and now it goes under the name the Black Line Trading Company. They say here it's been moved to Lion's Arch, but it appears you can still access it from your UI, so I don't really know what that actually means. Oh, and you'll get a nice 500 free gems in the beta. So that's cushy. I'll be testing the transmog out with that. Transmogrification, I think it's called transmutation, but it's the exact same concept. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it's a bloody good thing. Every MMO needs transmute, seriously. So that's it for that webpage. They also did another one recently, I think that was today even. Let's just check. Yeah, no, that was yesterday, okay, but still. Very recent one, explaining more about the World vs World updates, and they've made a new chat function for squads, which lets obviously talk to each other, whoever's in the squad. I suppose it's the equivalent of a party. They've changed the siege weapons. I'll mostly just quote this because I don't know a lot about it anyway. Siege weapons have been rebalanced in a variety of ways. Arrow carts now have a slightly shorter range along with a longer cooldown on their skills. And catapult and trebuchet ranges have been extended to be slightly longer than the ranges of cannons and mortars, respectively. Also, you are now able to eject anyone using a weapon you placed into the world by simply going up to the weapon and interacting with it. Finally, we found and fixed a bug that made the damage rings of some enemy siege weapons show up as white instead of red. This should make it much easier to know when to dodge out of an enemy cannon or arrow cart fire. Those are just a few of many updates we've made so far, but it's a pretty good sample of what we've been working on over the last few weeks. So yeah, that's the changes they've made to the siege weapons. If anyone's interested in how each server did in the World vs World, I will give you the top if they tied, you know, there'll be more than one, but I'll give you the top for each part of the world. So North America, the top server, grats to you guys, was Sea of Sorrows with 6 wins and 0 losers. Second place was Maguma with 5 wins and 1 lose. And third place was Emery Bay with, again, 5 wins and 1 loss. On the EU servers, it was Augury Rock, Fort Rannick and Desolation that all tied for first place with 6 wins and no losers, so grats to you guys. The rest you can see, I'll give you a link to this page, it will all be at the bottom. It's the last thing they tell you on the update. So yeah, have a look at that if you're interested to see how your server did in World V's World. If you don't care, that's great, don't look at it. But yeah, that's all the updates for now. You know, I'm going to have fun in the beta tonight and tomorrow and Sunday. So I'll see you guys after that, I suppose. Bye.